Happy New Year, everyone. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. This is the Innovating Automation with Balluff podcast. I'm your host, Nathaniel Scroggins. I'm a product marketing manager here at Balluff. I cover our connection technologies portfolio as well as our condition monitoring portfolio. I'm joined today by some of my fellow PMMs, Shashir here live, and Logan's joining us from the interwebs. So if you see us look down, we're looking at our guy here. But yeah, they're joining. We've got a great conversation planned for you guys, talking about commoditization in the market. But first, let's dig into who these guys are, and they'll give you some background on themselves. So go ahead, Shashir.
Hey, everyone. Hello, my name is Shashir Rege. I'm a product marketing manager for networking and IO-Link technologies here at Balluff. And been with Balluff for over 10 years now. Logan, on to you.
Yeah, thanks, Shashir. Yep, Logan Welch, product marketing manager for our core sensors. Been with Balluff 6 years now, and really enjoying the ride. And here to help talk about Nathaniel's topic today.
My topic, Logan. This is your
Our
idea.
topic.
This kind of spurred from one of our meetings, like talking about what we wanted to address in podcasts this year and what we wanted to talk about, like bringing new topics to you guys that might not be talked about all the time. So I think that's where this one kind of bred from. But commoditization, like, let's start with what does that really mean? What is commoditization?
Logan, you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's been a while since I talked about this in econ class, but essentially, commoditization is just the economy of scale, if you will, of products, technologies. The availability of something becoming larger than it used to be, the cost of manufacturing going down, and therefore, really everybody wins because the technology is adopted or fuel source or whatever it may be referring to, and the cost has become much more manageable. But also the availability is also much more manageable. So it really just kind of evens out the economy and the markets through larger numbers.
Absolutely. So economies of scale is one way to look at commodities, but at the same time, when it comes to automation, I feel the commoditization could refer to more of a standardization of technology. That means previously the technology, every technology goes through a cycle, right? The initial phase is it's new technology, the adoption phase then kind of boosts the productivity of that technology, and then eventually it reaches that maturity phase where those are becoming necessary components for the automation at hand. So a good example would be cables.
Yeah,
right?
So cables.
Without cables, we can't automate anything because without transfer of power, connectivity, data, those are all essential things. So in a nutshell, for me, commoditization of technology is not necessarily the price down approach, but more of a standardization approach that, hey, I can replace one part for the other part easily because they are more of standards.
Yeah, when you guys first brought up the topic, or we discussed the topic, it made me think about just the TV market. Like when I remember like trying to get a flat screen TV 10 years ago or whatever, and it was, $1,000, $1,500 to get a, 50-inch TV, and now you get that for just a couple $100. And they're everywhere. So you can kind of see it across the board in all industries.
Yeah.
But in my past experience, like the terminology or the term of commodity was kind of a negative term. Like you didn't want to talk about commodities. You wanted to talk about the value portion. I think as a young sales professional, it's like speak the value, try to not say the word commodity. I think that's changing, but have you guys seen that on your side too, it being more of a positive term? And if so, like, what do you think has really forced that change?
I go first here.
Go ahead. Sure.
So when it comes to networking technologies or IO-Link specifically, it took about 12, 13 years for IO-Link to become a standard. Now, I remember from my early days at Balluff, I had to explain what IO-Link is. Now, at least we are at that phase that I don't have to explain what IO-Link is. It's very, very adopted, generically adopted technology. Now, not necessarily all the things that IO-Link can do is a general knowledge, but for most parts, it is IO-Link. Everybody is familiar with it. Just like 20 years ago, it used to be the case with DeviceNet. It used to be the case with Ethernet. I mean, I had comments when back in 2000s, I heard comments from people saying, hey, I will never let Ethernet be part of my plant network. Now it's a commodity, right? You can't live without it.
Yeah.
Every data exchange has some part of Ethernet in it.
Yeah, so you're saying as people have grown more familiar with just technology in general, or really it could be anything, that drives more of the positive use of the word commodity.
Right. So if we look at our growth of our products also, there are some commoditized product. That means they are standardized to do whatever XYZ components are doing. Right.
Yeah.
Then there is a value add component to it, and I'm sure we will get to it
Yeah.
in a shot. But Logan,
Well, yeah. No, I mean, good points, guys. And again, you go back to that standardization or that reliability. A lot of the products we see become more commoditized are tried and true. They're not cutting edge technology, because that cutting edge technology like DeviceNet, like Ethernet and days have passed, is still being ran through its paces, right, in the industry. Our customers and the industry and the automation market is vetting that out for long-term success, that cutting edge technology. And so what you see in a lot of, products that, Balluff has commoditized is the tried and true stuff, the industry vetted products. My background is controls engineering, worked in a manufacturing plant for 10 years as a controls engineer. And I remember the days where, a laser variant photoelectric was like, wow, like crazy. And just DC even photoelectrics was amazing. A lot of them were AC, where you had physical contacts, you wired to it. There was no connectorization. There was a conduit connector. So, again, just it blows my mind when I kind of think back a little bit. One, because it tells how old I am, and two, it kind of makes me look at, in a quick view, how much our industry's changed over the last 25, 30 years.
Yeah, so like just maturity in general in the market is driving, so many things, I think, to become commodity products, things that we wouldn't have necessarily thought of that way. I mean, as you were talking, I'm thinking about like vision in general, like the vision and barcode readers. I mean, it used to be more specialized. You had to do a lot more to solve those type of applications. And now, I mean, you can grab something off the shelf and they're feature rich and they're cost effective. So you're able to, solve a lot more. So I could consider some of those products even commodity products.
Absolutely. RFID is a great example. It's been around for 30 years, but it's just becoming a commodity now, where people are standardizing with RFID for track and trace and visibility into their production processes. But that technology has been around for a long time.
Yeah.
So some technologies take longer to get to commoditization phase versus other.
Yeah, makes sense. So I guess we're starting to talk a little bit about product here. So what products in your guys' portfolio? I mean, for the people out there, we're all on the same team, but we all manage different portfolios. Like I said, I manage our connection technologies portfolio and our condition monitoring portfolio. So that's cables and some of our condition monitoring and process sensors and some of the edge gateways with that. Shashir manages our networking portfolio, and Logan is over some of our sensor lines. So, I mean, within each of those, I think we each have different products that might fill that commodity kind of bucket that we're talking about. So let's get into that. So what do you view as within your cluster? What are the commodity products?
So very good point. And our product management team has come up with the excellent ideas. How do we differentiate these? So Balluff has introduced something called entry line. I think in all of our portfolios, we have something called entry line. So the entry line kind of signals more standard approach to the components, which can be easily replaced with others, but at the same time, they are cost down approach.
Yeah.
Right? So they are typically available easily. We maintain them all on the shelf. So that is something which have common uses. And then we created advanced line in specifically in networking portfolio, where it adds that cutting edge value. For example, when it comes to advanced networking portfolio, we talk about the IIoT features.
Right. Yeah.
Right. It kind of cuts through into the edge gateways and other things, condition monitoring on the device itself. Not only just gathering condition monitoring data, but the data about itself, the current monitoring, and all these additional features that could be utilized, and it's not commonly used today. I'm sure in the next few years that
right. I
becomes
feel like those
entry line.
features kind of just as time goes and things get more mature, the advanced features drop further and further down. And next thing you know, you've got a very mature entry line product.
And technology, right? Technology is boosting productivity for those components as well, and making it available easily. As the underlying components are available easy, it brings the cost down, economies of scale, as Logan pointed out earlier. That definitely helps. And at the same time, not everybody is looking at cutting edge technology.
Yeah.
We want the replacement technology for the previous generations. We want to bring them on board because nobody wants to change what they bought 5-10 years ago.
No.
So it's slowly evolving. Nobody wants to spend a lot of money to ramp that up to the next level. So those are the things that are helping, like the entry line, the advanced line. We also call standard line portfolio as well. So that's how, in networking side, we are handling the commoditization process.
Okay.
Yeah, and on the sensor side, kind of similar. I really appreciate our product management team and headquarters, that developed a lot of these products, the entry lines. The title it gave it as well, because entry line, it's not like the low end, it's not whatever. It's literally the entry into that technology. And when we have an entry line, again under my umbrella of products, being inductive sensors and photoelectric, we have an entry line of both. And we decided that they really need to have some tried and true technologies in there that are like diffuse, retroflective, all this stuff, through beam, background suppression. Just make sure we have the technologies people are comfortable with, people are used to using, tried and true again, in them. So within my clusters, or my umbrella, however you want to say it, the photoelectric entry line, very robust, breadth of product in there. But again, you can go up from there, like kind of Shashir is saying. Like it's not what we have now. It's just where we want you to start for a bunch of reasons. One, it's most cost effective price to performance ratio we have. But again, if the application gets more elaborate, the scope changes, the needs change, the sky's the limit with our product offering. Same with inductives. We call it the BES line. That's our inductive line family, but we start with the entry line. We don't have special coatings. We don't have special factor 1 ratings, stuff like that. It's sense ferrous material in close proximity, and we do it well with our entry line. So I really think 2026 is like the year of the entry line product push, and I really enjoy being a part of that because our teams in Germany developing these products have done a great job.
Yeah, and I think that's something I really appreciate about Balluff is we're not trying to push the flagship thing with all the features right in your face every single time. Like, we're perfectly willing to help you solve the baseline. What's the minimum viable product to solve your application when it's necessary? But we also do look kind of more in the future for people. We want people to not have to replace things after 5 years. Where I think in the past, we all probably have seen instances where it's the latest iPhone every year, like, right? Like they want you to buy the latest features and everything year over year, and I do appreciate that about us. But from the cable side, another thing, as you were talking, Logan, about just your products too. From the cable side, in the past, I think PVC, M12, M8, whatever, that was the commodity. That was when you wanted to go low price, you go PVC. I think we've gotten to the point now where we can sell, just based on economies of scale, we can sell TPE cables, our highest quality jacket material, at that kind of commodity level. To me, that's our entry line product, which, like I said, in the past used to be, that was kind of the cream of the crop. That was the flagship for people. So I'm pretty proud that we've been able to do that and kind of make that our entry line from my end of things. But I think kind of next thing I want to hear from you guys, like, at what point do you step people?
Yeah, it's kind of all down to the needs of the customer. As that maybe range, maybe accuracy, maybe speed starts hitting those higher ends of the spectrum. We step them to another family, but that's completely up to the customer. And I want to reiterate maybe something I've already touched on, but these entry lines are almost like a thank you to our customers. They people that have adopted Balluff technologies over the years, we greatly appreciate. And in essence, instead of keep chasing the next best thing, which we are, we have tons of development dollars, and what's the next technology and what's the highest level we can provide our customers with sensors and networking and cables. Why not make the beginning step more affordable? And that's not necessarily to pad our pockets. It's to help our customers out, be more effective, and stick with Balluff through that effectiveness, because we have the clout. We have, we're Balluff. We're known for quality. So again, when a customer goes to our entry line, they're like, well, I really need 20 feet of distance. I'm like, well, no problem. We can solve that. It just, now we got to jump in that family that has some of that more high end technology, has a special lens, has a special laser, whatever it may be. Or hey, I'm in a really harsh environment. Would have weld spotter. Okay, now we need to step into a more specific product for that. But the beauty of the entry line is it starts that conversation, and it helps us have a unified starting point to direct the solution to the customer through our products.
Yeah, great way of putting it.
So on my side, I would first say thanks to our competition that are helping us.
Yeah.
Right.
With this, because as you guys know, Balluff was very innovative in terms of networking technology. When the IO-Link first came, while everybody was just focused on the advantages it added to the sensor side, Balluff was the first company that added the IO-Link for IO hubs to expand the ability of high-density IO architectures and focus there. Now, I guess every competition of ours kind of has some level of IO hubs. They're still not there yet where Balluff is, and we are always leapfrogging that technology. Smart lights is another example, analog to IO-Link converter. So there is a bunch of innovative technologies. Actually, I want to say we showed the industry how to utilize valve bank on IO-Link before the valve manufacturers brought IO-Link to their technology. So it's actually helping us, making that with the competition, bringing out those products, helping us making that technology more easily available. Now, at the same time, there is always going to be need for what's next onto that technology.
Yeah.
Where we are going into the MQTT or other IIoT, REST API, all the other things that are coming in. But having said that, there is always going to be need for those technologies.
Yeah.
Right? Now, people are looking towards how can I get rid of these expensive automation controllers, right? For small applications, I call it appliance applications. They don't want to invest $5,000-$6,000, or I don't know what the cost of those automation controllers are, but they don't want that technology. So they are asking, can we have the technology of easy logic into the blocks?
Yeah.
Right?
We're just moving things more to the edge too.
Yeah,
I mean, it keeps it more
exactly.
efficient, keeps it cheaper.
So we added something like that to our I/O hubs, so that now the I/O hubs can operate independently of the network, and it can just communicate data. So one of my former colleague here made a statement, and that stuck with me, and that's very apt here. Let the application drive the technology. Let the technology drive the product choice, right? And
Yeah, good point.
yeah, and that's how we've been helping our customers, seeing the needs, seeing the trends, taking it back to our headquarters, developing new products. So
Yeah, I think
guess,
that's something we're doing every
long-
day. I mean, we're taking that feedback kind of from not just our sales force, but the customers we're dealing with every day. And that's I think a huge proponent of just our role is take that and discern what needs to happen. And, not just jumping at every nice new technology that we might see. It's like, what's real? What do we really need to give our customers? But that's a perfect segue into kind of my last question for you guys. This is your chance to really say whatever you want. But how do you see things changing in the next 3 to 5 or even 5 to 10 years? What's the next thing coming that could be the commodity thing we're sitting here talking about years from now?
I see a lot of advancements in, within my, I should say, sensor realm. A lot of advancements in, laser technology, vision embedded sensors becoming more common and smaller. Then the inductive realm, that's kind of an older technology, inductive sensors. I see the adoption though of IO-Link becoming more common in sensors. Also, smart technology in some of the sensors where you can pull more environmental and health data from the sensor to really, help with preventive maintenance and condition monitoring. I see those becoming more adopted in the coming years. We've already seen that trend, and I see it becoming more of a technology that's assumed is going to belong in the sensor in 5 or 10 years instead of a more of a cutting edge technology. But really, as a whole, AI is really taken over. I can see AI becoming part of the conversation when it comes to object detection. A lot of what I do within my products. So I don't know. Sky's the limit. But when you mentioned earlier, about talking about what's the next thing, reading the market, really that is our job, right? It's a two-way role. We go out and evangelize our products to the market, make sure they're aware of what they can do, aware of their capabilities, but we also absorb that knowledge from our customers and take their input and help shape our product offering. So I would take this opportunity to challenge our sales team and our customers that may be listening to this, our distributor partners, whoever may be listening, give us feedback, because that feedback helps basically develop our product offering that is basically aimed at the future. So help be a part of that.
Awesome. Yeah, totally agree.
Absolutely. I would say we should have another podcast on this, but because I see major trends in the market like the digital twin, connected enterprise, industry 4.0, condition monitoring, predictive maintenance. So all these different trends are kind of converging together. There is other technologies on the horizon called time sensitive networks, TSN, which is called mother of all networks, right? Which allows connecting with dissimilar systems onto the same network cable. There is also other trends that are affecting now, as Logan said, even in the sensor technologies, a lot of our sensors already have condition monitoring data built in. We always, Balluff always advertised itself as a data generator for the connected world, right? And this
I love
is,
saying it, like we're a data enabler. Like
Right.
that's so true for a lot of our products.
Yep. So we are collecting all this data, and then we actually have some customers that brought to us their next level challenges for digital twins. How are we going to solve that? Or replacing programmable controllers. How are we going to solve that? So those are the new things. Safety. Increasingly, network safety is becoming part of our daily life. It is hardware safety is still 80-90% in use, but I think people are slowly shifting towards that network safety. How IO-Link plays into the safety is another new category that we are looking into. So there's a lot of different things.
Yeah.
I guess it's a long-winded answer to
Yeah,
your
no, I mean, like,
easy
you both
question.
kind of stole my thunder, the condition monitoring. I think that is
Sorry.
no, that's all right. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad it's on all of our mind, but I mean, that's the next thing. I think all of our devices will have some type of condition monitoring built in, and we need to make that easier for all of our customers to be able to implement condition monitoring for any of their devices, even if it's at the networking block. Like making those so we can really see how the device health and what's happening on the line. We're all trying to prevent downtime.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's number one killer is downtime for our customers. So, yeah, I think we definitely could dig in a lot deeper to what the future brings, and maybe that's a topic for us a few months from now. But I think that's it for our time here. But do you guys have anything else you want to add before we kind of shut up shop?
I think
Not much more, but just keep an eye out for what's to come from Balluff in 2026. We got some product launches coming. We have entry line stuff that's been out for a little bit and that just recently launched. And again, if you have a quote from us and you want to revisit it, we might be much more competitive than you may have remembered. So yeah, I just encourage people to not think Balluff can't handle you on the lower side of things. So
yeah, I don't have. I think Logan
what a
sums
closer.
it up. Yes.
Yeah, but
Great.
For you guys listening out there, really appreciate you joining us. We have a lot of great topics, like I said, coming this year. If there's something you want to hear about, feel free to reach out to us. We'll love to. We're going to try to talk to more partners, more customers, more internal Balluff resources, and try to be a real help to you, whether you're internal at Balluff listening or you're an external, you're one of our customers or potential customers. So we're happy to help you in any way or talk about anything you might want us to. And if you get a chance, check us out at balluff.com. I mean, we've got kind of everything we could offer on there, and we're here to help.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you guys. Appreciate the time.
Thank you.
Thank
for
you.
coordinating this.